All right. He's pumped to be here right now. I know I am. Jay, I see you smiling like the Dickens right now, dude, like always. First off, just want to put a round of applause for the dinner crew. Kim, Tim, Ray, Jason, Jackie. Was that good? Was that good? Quinoa bowls? I actually haven't had it yet, but I've heard it's really good, so. Welcome everyone. We're pumped to have you guys and actually see everyone in person versus a 2x2 screen and no mask. So welcome. So I guess in today's session, really it's going to be about transformation and this whole weekend and about identity. I know I already talked to Kramer about that a lot. But we get to do this in a really amazing place, right? Who here has been to Yosemite? All right, who has not been to Yosemite? All right, so for the people who have been to Yosemite, like what's so famous about it? Half Dome, okay.
The valley itself.
Valley. El Cap, awesome, yeah. So we thought it'd be a really cool place to do it in Yosemite because there's so many analogies that we can make to being a real estate investor, right? So I looked this up because I'm a nerd, and if anyone knows geology really well, you can absolutely correct me, but this is what Wikipedia said. It basically said that Yosemite Valley was created over 100 million years of magma intrusion, and which means lava, if anyone doesn't know that, and glacier erosion. Now, those are important notes, real estate investor, right? Right? But over 100 million years, day after day after day, right? So same thing that we're trying to create here in the community is how do we create those habits day after day after day that creates the identity, right? Who do I need to be a real estate investor so that I can achieve my vivid vision? I can be able to drop my kids off at school if they want me to, or choose to work at a W-2 and shed the identity of being a sales guy, right? So that's what this weekend is gonna be all about, is not erosion or magma intrusion or whatever that means, but about how can I transform myself and even understand what my identity is today and what it is gonna be tomorrow. So with that being said, to quickly celebrate where we've been as a journey, right? Because that's the outcome. And the small habits, the small wins that we've had so far have been tremendous in the community. So just as a point of inspiration, I wrote down 2 numbers here. Now, Ray, I already told you what the numbers mean, so don't say anything. But the 37, can anyone tell me a guess of what they think that 37 is?
Number of people here.
That's a really good guess, actually. I don't have enough fingers to count that much, but no.
Properties that students have locked up under contract.
Boom. Properties, transactions that students have done in Zen Coast so far.
Since
January?
Yeah, since January.
Yeah.
A lot of us, I know we have a lot of OGs here who started in January, so we just want to thank you for being on the journey, and it's been less than 6 months officially.
Yeah, 100%. I know some of the 6-monthers too are like getting their last deals, like getting going right now, so. Because I know like even the 4 more pod, they want 4 units or above, so you guys are crushing. So what about the 12.7? Value, exactly. $12.7 million of assets acquired. Like that's a shit ton, I'm gonna say it. That's a shit ton in 6 months. So just like clap for you guys, for yourself, that's amazing.
And some of the values that we've mentioned previously on the calls. So the first value that we have within the community is being vulnerable. So this weekend, it's all about being vulnerable with one another, where you're gonna meet people that you don't know, but know that this is a safe space and a safe container for you guys to all connect, share about deep thoughts that you have and the deep struggles, because that's what's gonna drive you to get to your vivid vision that you wrote when you first joined Zen Coast University. And tomorrow we're gonna do some fun stuff, and we might get some vulnerability out there when you're meeting with other people here. So just open up, and even it's sharing where you are financially as well. A lot of other communities out there, like you can't talk in the dinner table, like how much are you making? How much do you have in the savings account? But here is no judgment. I want you guys to be open and sharing where you guys are so that we can all be able to help you get to that next level. And the next value is accountability. So accountability is keeping each other accountable. So it doesn't just start here. This is like, we've had our pod calls, we've had our group sessions and Friday office hours, but we want this to continue on as well too, where you guys keep each other accountable. And I know Jay has shared, he's like, I don't want to show up to my pod call and not have done my homework, so I'm going to get a deal under contract, and he's got a deal under contract. So those are things that we love and we hear, and we're excited for all of you guys to be able to keep building your portfolio.
Yeah, and I got a quick accountability too. I was talking to Tyler, right? He's got, you know, a list of buyers or a list of owners that he set up all his call scripts for, and all you have to do is take action. So I know Cam, you're in his pod. How many per week? How many? 100, 200, 300?
So I'm going to dedicate 2 hours a day at least to 100.
100, let's go.
Yeah, that's good.
100 calls, baby. Cam, you keep him accountable, man.
And then that's the thing about this community too, where some people have some extra time to be able to make the calls, but not necessarily have the capital. Some other people have the capital to make the investments, but don't necessarily have the time. But let's all collaborate together to make deals happen. And that's how we've been able to really scale up within our community and get to the 88 plus units that we have, but it's like all because of you guys too. So we want to be able to get to, I know the end of this year goal was initially 100, but I'm like, hey, let's do that to like 500 or something. As a community, I trust that we can get there. The third value is love and fun. So we wanted to share how much we love each other, and just, we came in with hugs, and I know this is like first few weekends after COVID. So thank you all for getting vaccinated, getting tested, and be able to share that love here, because love is the highest frequency out there. And actually it's not hate that's the lowest frequency, fear is. And as we mentioned, fear is the only thing that gets smaller the closer you get to it. But if you come from love and just share your love throughout from your heart, the deals will come, the deals will flow, the people will come, the money will come for the deals. And just like what randomly, like we just get a bunch of 16 units, 36 units, and a bunch of people calling us, hey, Jennie, Calvin, we want to invest with you. And how much money can we give to you guys? So we want you guys to get there, because like how we got there was just sharing the love with other people and teaching them how to be able to build up their portfolio. And the next value is you, which is uncomfortability. We're gonna do some uncomfortable things this weekend. Sorry. You're already uncomfortable.
Yeah. Good values, dude. Yeah.
But be open-minded to it too, because through uncomfortability, that is when you truly grow. Because if you're just staying in your comfort zone, you're just stagnant. You're either living or you're dying. So if you want to live, right? So we want to be able to truly thrive and be able to get to the next level. And for us, like going and buying our first property was very scary. First primary here. But then our next one, buying out of state, that was super scary for us, but we were very uncomfortable, but we did it. Then buying and scaling to a fourplex was very scary, uncomfortable, but we did it. And then going to a 16 unit, it's very scary, very uncomfortable. And then going to 36 unit, and now it's like raising to 50, 100 plus units. It's like it gets you to be able to go bigger and scale bigger. And we're here about sharing about how we can scale your business so that you can spend more time with your loved ones and spend time with your family and be able to do what you want to do, be able to see your kids and not have to work weekends anymore, and just be able to give back to your parents. And when you're working with them through investment properties, falling through ceilings in the room, like, hey, these are times to be able to enjoy with your family together. So let's get uncomfortable this weekend. The last value that we have is empowerment. We want to truly empower each other of being able to be their best self. And that's through a lot of the different work that we're going to do here, through embodiment exercises. We're going to do some things that you might not have done before, but we're going to be able to truly empower you to feel that win and that success. And easily, the values spell value, so you'll be able to remember that. And some of you guys, I know you guys started in, half of you guys might have started in January, and it's the end of the 6 months this weekend. You might be wondering, what is next? what else is after this? Like, will I continue? But we're here, think about it, it's like freshman year of college. We're just learning the basics here and then be able to help you truly scale to that next level. So there's other programs that we have for continuation, different levels that we have created for the students who are considering, okay, what am I going to do after this weekend? Am I going to be on the pod calls or anything anymore? But what we're going to do for every single person on this call is having a one-on-one optimization and strategy call after this weekend. So we'll connect with staff to figure out our calendars and schedules, and we'll do that. But we want to make sure that you take everything from this weekend to be able to really implement afterwards, not go back and be like, okay, I'm not going to do any of my deals, just go through my day-to-day, but let's go after it this weekend.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, like, we're action takers, right? I mean, there's dreamers out there, right? And they're dreamers for forever, right? Because, hey, one day I'm gonna do this, next year I'm gonna do this. Like, what we do here, 37 transactions, $12.7 million, like, we're taking action, we're doing the work. I know, Barbosa, you had mentioned to me, hey, like, I just needed to take action and go do it, right? That's all it is. Let's go out and do it consistently, create that habit, and eventually transform that identity into, hey, like, I am a real estate investor. I am financially free. I'm a father first versus an employee first. So, yeah, to Jenny's point, ground rules for the weekend. I know our very first mastermind that Jenny dragged me to, literally walked in the door and everyone's like, Tony Robbinsing, hoorah. And I was like, this is a cult. This is a cult for sure. And I was like, you know, as we all put our white shirts on tomorrow, this might be a cult too, right? But that cult was the best cult I've ever been part of, because you learn, one, about community, which I've talked to a lot of you about like the value of this. It's everyone right next to you, right? You don't know who's gonna help you next, right? And I've taken nuggets from every person I've met at meetups like this, that I've taken for the rest of my life, even if they know it or not. Actually, I had a random call with a guy that actually was a mentor of mine, like back in the day, and he gave me some little piece of advice that was, you know, if you have no control of it, don't worry about it, right? And it's really simple, but it's the first time I ever heard it. And he's a wholesaler now, and I got to connect with him, and you know, he's like, dude, Calvin, you're crushing, blah, blah, blah. But I was like, dude, like, you helped me out the most when I was a kid, in my mind, a kid. And I shared with him, like, dude, like, that piece of advice, like, changed a lot of, you know, what I've, like, thought about in my life prospectively. And he was like, dude, thank you so much for saying that. Like, I didn't know how much that meant. I don't really remember the conversation. Like, I remember it, but he doesn't. So same thing here. Like, you don't even know if you're talking that someone might take that nugget and then grow that in their mind as something huge. So as our first exercise, we're going to be doing an identity exercise. So we're in the Yosemite area. We'll call it the Yosemite MSA, right? But we're not in Yosemite. We're really in a community called PML, right? So it doesn't stand for private money lending, right? I think some people are like, is this private money lending? What is this place? It stands for Pine Mountain Lake. And it's a special place for me personally, and a really special place in general. And we picked it because of that, not only because we have Airbnbs here and we know the area, but like, there's been a lot of like transformation in my own mind here as well. And I know back in, you know, 4 years ago or 5 years ago, this is literally the community where David Green decided, hey, I'm not gonna be a cop anymore. I'm gonna shed that identity and become a real estate investor. He's done all right, I assume.
He's wrote some books.
He's wrote some books, I don't know. No, little podcast called Bigger Pockets or something like that. A couple listeners. But same here. I mean, even last year was when I also decided, hey, I want to shed the identity of being a corporate tech guy. Like, I don't want to be that. It doesn't seem fulfilling, doesn't have purpose to it. Like, I want to change my identity to, and that's where I was like, I don't know, actually, right? So, you know, a few months ago, some of my accountability pod challenged me. He's like, well, you know, what is going to be your new identity? And like, I didn't know what that answer was, which is like, oh crap, like, I know I didn't want to be a sales guy anymore, a tech guy, but I knew I didn't know what I wanted to be. So I did a lot of work on myself of just understanding, like, okay, what's my new identity? So I could write down on here. I came up with an acronym that I say to Jenny every morning, and she probably thinks it's super lame, but I say it every morning. So the first letter is V, and it's value creator. right? So I want to add value to everyone I meet, no matter how small that conversation is, whether it's an Uber ride, whatever it is, right? If I can live my life like that, then I'm making the world a better place, right? And what we say here at Zen Coast, right? We say to get passive income for passive impact, right? Because real estate, money, all that stuff is just a vehicle, right? To be able to do the things that you want to do and hopefully create a better world for you, your community, your generations. The next letter is A, right? And this is, to me, action taker. And I apologize for putting the back. My handwriting is really, really bad. Like, I take notes sometimes. I'm like, I don't even know what I said. So it says action taker. And my spelling's really bad too. And Jennie can attest to that. So action takers, for me, like every time I'm feeling complacent, I'm like on the couch, watching Netflix. I tell myself, I say, hey, like, I'm a value creator, action taker, and every time I get to the action taker, I'm up, like, let's go, right? Just because it gets me motivated of like who I want to be, right? If that question is like, who do I need to be today to be that future identity? So I'm like, I want to be an action taker, so I'm going to do it. I'm going to live it every day and build that habit until that is my identity. L is a leader, right? And not a leader in terms of like, hey, like here's real estate investing advice, but leader in terms of, hey, like inspiring people. Right, because I think everyone, and who's Ray, actually you said this to me, like the biggest difference I've seen from you was like how inspirational you are to your friends and getting them into real estate and having Samantha on the spouse code. That was awesome, right? You inspired her to do it. And you're also, outsourcing, deal analyzing to her too, which is also really smart. So great lessons there. But like to be a leader, to be inspiring to other people so that they can also take action on this is a true form of impact. Oh wait, sorry, whoops. I was going back to value. I was going back to value again. It got me all confused. It's really close to that actually. V is visionary. So visionary means to me just like, okay, well, what does the future hold for everyone, right? The people I lead, the people I inspire, Jennie, myself, like our shared vision. Like I'm always trying to like, one, know what hers is, and hers hopefully knows what mine is, but also just always trying to understand what that looks like. Because you always want to have some kind of goal or destination you're going to so that you can create these habits. So always constantly thinking about the vision. And then E is, I can't spell this word, so don't judge me for sure, but it's entrepreneur. I don't know if anyone knows how to spell that, but entrepreneur. I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah, right? All right. Right, cool. So that one was that identity shift of, all right, I'm a W-2 corporate guy, but now I'm an entrepreneur. So what would an entrepreneur do, right? So the same thing as when people wear those, what would Jesus do bracelets, I kind of, in my mind, use the valve as like, all right, like what if that person in the future, Calvin, future identity as valve, what would he do? So I always try to live by that every day and every action that I take. So the first exercise that we're gonna do, does everyone have their journal, notebook? Yeah, journal, notebook. Who doesn't? We can give them paper. Phone? No, you want to write it down. Do we have pens? You have pens? Who needs a pen? I got an extra one right here. Oh.
Does anyone need a pen?
Who else is missing?
I got 2 pens.
Yeah, return this to us, okay?
I will.
I just gave you a pen.
My favorite pen.
Oh, who needs a pen? Hold on. Anyone else need a pen?
No problem.
All right.
Just kidding, what's my favorite?
Henry, it's like the 3rd time I passed over you, man.
I'll take a marker.
A marker? No, we got pens, dude. Somewhere. you gotta. Oh yeah, we just did a bunch of pens. Yeah. No, we got a bunch of pens.
And read.
All right, guys. So 3 questions. First question is, what's my identity right now? Right, and that could be, I'm a corporate guy. I'm a nurse. I'm a real estate agent. Whatever it is, like write that down. What you think your identity is today. And then write down, what do you want your identity to be? We'll tell you back again. So what you want your identity to be. And then the third question is, who do I need to become to be that identity? So we'll take what, 3 minutes? 30 seconds, minute? 5 minutes, and we'll just journal. And then what we're gonna do after that is we're gonna break out. You're gonna find someone that you've never met in your life, and then you're gonna share. Who do you need to become to fulfill that identity? Okay, yeah.